you guys feeling?
We're
Good?
Nervous.
Nervous?
Oh, nervous, yeah.
It'll go away real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee it. That's one thing I can guarantee.
I have like stage fright / performance anxiety.
Oh, okay.
And that's all the time I
All the
share
time.
poetry and it still.
Still comes. Yes. A lot of people battle that.
Yeah, it's which surprises me because you wouldn't know it when she's up on stage. Like you wouldn't know that she's having. But I guess that's how people operate, right? We push through.
Yeah.
But so we are on with Gemini Fox. Is that what you like to go by, or would you?
Either one. I've learned to say that I am both Gemini Fox poetry and Stephanie Jackson. So I answer to either one. It took me a while to embrace that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it.
How'd you come up with Gemini Fox?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
That was my next question,
Oh,
actually.
I'm sorry. I stole it from you.
No,
I'm
you got
sorry.
it.
It's an interesting name.
When I first started sharing my writing, it was on MySpace. And I thought to myself, if I ever wrote a book, because I was not comfortable with being vulnerable and transparent, if I ever wrote a book, then I would go ahead and I'd make sure that I had a pseudonym. So my pseudonym would have been Gemini Triple D. And I didn't think about that until I started sharing my poetry and I started receiving unexpected replies.
Because of Triple D?
Yeah.
It's like Triple X.
So I wasn't thinking about that.
Okay.
So once I was at a movie theater, the Citrus Park movie theater. I worked there. I was a manager. And for the first time I saw something that I hadn't seen before. There was wilderness right across from the parking lot. And there was this red fox that came out of nowhere. And I thought of what the characteristics of a fox. It's cunning, it's private, you never really see it. And with the Gemini, we're supposed to have two sides. So I put the two together and called myself Gemini Fox.
Ooh.
I like that.
Ooh, that's clever.
My mom's a Gemini and so is my son.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're interesting.
Yes. Yes.
That's a great explanation of your name. I love it. Yeah, I was gonna ask you that.
It's
I'm
nice.
glad that you asked that.
Now I have a sister poet, Miss Kim. Her name on IG is Treating You Sweet, and she's a baker, so that's why it's called Treating You Sweet. So she's going to get a kick out of this once she hears the podcast. Miss Kim, this is for you.
Nice.
Hey, Kim.
But man, I love your voice. Like, the
It's
first time I heard her voice, once again, we speak about this all the time. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. This is where, that place has so much favor. And that's where I met Stephanie. And just phenomenal voice, phenomenal poet.
Thank you.
And she had a poem that really just stuck with me. And it was like it goes. He was like hip hop and R&B, right?
So
She was like hip hop and R&B.
it was he. So it's the poem was titled Musical.
Yeah.
If you want me to share it, I can.
Yo,
That
that
would
would
be
be
great.
great. Yeah, if you want. So this is like, please.
So the poem's titled Musical. He was pure hip hop and R&B, Tupac laced with Jodeci, Fresh Prince and modern day gear, a Romeo with a 90s flair. He was kryptonite. B-ball kept his physique tight. I don't think he knew my name, but I can tell you that boy had game. And all the free time he had, he would share with this round-the-way girl with the nappy hair. He liked to put both hands on my hips, stared at me like he wanted to taste my lips. But I never tasted his chocolate sweet. I was in love with him. He was in love with the streets. He was pure hip-hop and R&B, Tupac laced with Jodeci, Fresh Prince and modern day gear, a Romeo with a 90s flair. He was musical.
Ooh, that is
Very
nice.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yes.
I
yes.
love that.
So when I heard her perform afterward, I was like, yo, we should go grab some lunch and catch up and see how we can like create something together. But it never worked out. We were never able to link up. But at the same time, when I saved her phone number into my phone, I put Stephanie Jackson, poet, hip hop and R&B, and that's how I met. And then like I was like, wow, and like usually like we've messaged like on Instagram and Facebook every now and then, and so I had not received a call from her. So this morning I had got a call from her, and that's how her name popped up.
Oh,
yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I forgot that I had put that in there, So when I seen it, and then we had like a great conversation this morning, and I just feel like God just works the way He does is so amazing. And I was like, hey, would you be interested? And we had a great conversation for like an hour, and then I said, would you be interested in coming on the show tonight? And she's like, I would love to, and so. Let's do it, It
was an hour?
I believe so. Yeah. I believe so. Yeah, we caught up and we talked about some good things, though, man. It was powerful, powerful conversation. Learned a lot. Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, some of the things we were speaking about, though. One of them was she was saying on a relationship tip, speaking to somebody, she was telling him, like, if you really want to understand me, like, listen to my poetry. And I'm like, yo, that is so good. That is so good. Like, because poets will tell you exactly who they are in their poetry. Most of us. Yeah, good point. Good point.
Most of us will.
Right.
But yeah, she's like super supportive too on the poetry scene. And I admire that, because I keep up with you on social media, and I see that she's always supporting other poets and other artists, and she'll do the videos for them when they go up. But she also, to bring some things together, she had posted a reel the other day, because she does reels like you. So you guys got something in common. Like y'all do like reels like every day. And I'm like, man, y'all are consistent. That's so good. I was like, I need to do that. But you guys got more confidence than me with that. It's amazing. But she posted one about be weird, I believe. Oh. And I shared it. I shared it on mine. And she's like, just be weird. And the funny thing is, right after, I don't know if it was before that or after that, me and Monica and her daughter were hanging out, and we were like at the Prime Outlet, and we were going up there to get her daughter some Levi's the other day. Her daughter Ruth, and Monica's like, I'm weird and I'm proud.
Yeah.
I was like, man, these two got a lot in common.
But you have to tell them the backstory why I said that.
Why? What's that? Go ahead.
So we're leaving the store because we had to get her some jeans real quick and then rush off to his son's football game. So anyway, yeah. Yep. So we're trying to rush and walk real fast to the car, but there's this young guy, these two young guys walking behind me, and I'm a fashionista. I love fashion. So anyway, this guy had on these big, wide pants, like wide colored jeans. They were different because most people are wearing skinny, saggy jeans or whatever. So his were nice and wide, and he had on this nice sweater. And his hair was like, I think he had like dreads up to his shoulders. So anyway, I was just like, looking around while I'm walking forward. I'm looking behind me, staring at this young kid.
Yeah, she's like,
and then I'm like, oh, I just had to tell you that you have such a nice outfit. I don't want you to think I'm weird, but
no.
Staring
she
at
threw
your
me in
outfit.
there. She threw all of us in there. She's like, hey, we just want to let you know you have a great outfit. And I'm like, man, thank you. Yeah. I was like, yeah, it is great.
Yeah, Ruth and Dave were like, no, not we, you. And I was like, oh well, I'm weird and I'm proud.
Yeah. Well, me and Ruth were making fun of her too, because
they always make fun of me.
You compliment kids a lot. So we were messing with you, but it's good.
Like, I'm not a pedophile. I just like fashion, so I don't mean anything.
But Ruth is so funny though. Her daughter is hilarious. She was supposed to come tonight, but she didn't make it. But we got to get her to talk, man. She's so intellectual. She's brilliant.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, she gives her mom a hard time. And she's really good at it.
Yeah, but I like being weird. I like being a nerd or whatever the bad labels that people give me, so I can relate to you.
Hot nerd.
Well, my kids don't know not to, like, they don't question it anymore. They're like, okay, if I say hello to someone in the store, I say, okay, this is going to be a 20. Mom, we're going to be in this department. We'll come back. And then they'll come back to check to see if we're still talking.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know a stranger. My mother told me that. She told me, you don't know a stranger, do you? I'm like, well, no, not really. Everyone is a stranger until they're a friend.
That's good.
Wow. Speaking of that, like that kind of reminds me of a scripture that I found that really relates to Chris. It's from Romans 12:13. It says, contribute to the needs of God's people and welcome strangers into your home.
Oh, wow.
I was like, whoa.
That's pretty accurate.
Like, yo,
that's
that is
very accurate.
Like, because people are coming
He's got
on
all
and
these
sharing
weirdos
their
here every week.
their faith-filled stories, and he's just allowing us to come here and give us this platform. You know, man, that is powerful, dude. But when I saw that, I said, that is his scripture. Yeah,
Like,
I didn't know that was in there, right?
I
didn't know that was
I
in
like
there.
that, though.
Yo, he will talk to you, bro. Like, he'll talk to you through willing vessels. And me and Stephanie, we were talking about that this morning. And I think you were speaking about that. You were saying that basically, like, you know, don't give the credit to me. You know, I'm just a willing vessel.
Correct.
You know, and I forget what we were speaking about with that. But I was complimenting you because I was learning from you. You were sharpening me this morning. We were sharpening each other.
And you were thanking me for sharing something. I'm like, well, it's not mine. The wisdom is not mine. I didn't get an. And before I would say, oh, it's not me, and then it would sound like, okay, you're just trying to be fake humble. And now I use the appropriate term. It's not me. I'm just being a willing vessel. I'm glad that I could be a good vessel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm thankful for that. But also, I think another thing to touch on everything that you were saying, like you were saying that your family and people, you know, men that come into your life, no one's come to your shows out of all those people.
My family, I have my nieces come. My sister had surgery, but she was going to come, but she didn't make it. I'd invited my mom and my aunt, and they didn't come. For me, it was a big thing because, like, you're doing things and you have all of these strangers saying all of these wonderful things to you, and then you go back to like childhood, and the voices that are strongest in your head are the ones that you want present. But then I had to accept that, what do they say, a prophet will not be accepted in his own country. So they will see it eventually, and I'm not doing it for them. I'm not doing it for anyone else's praise. Poetry, just, I talk in metaphor, and sometimes it's annoying. I tell people I'm the love child of Dr. Zeus and Maya Angelou because
that's
cute
beautiful.
at first. Yeah, it's cute at first. At first, and then like afterward, it's like it can be really annoying because I can't shut it off. It's just there.
Yes. I think David's like that too. He's always writing poetry and thinking poetry. Like he can't shut it off. So maybe that's a poet thing, you know?
Yes, it is. And then like you talk about that and you add God to it, you turn away like 60% of people.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about, though, you know, especially when you get God involved, because his stories are the best stories.
Yes.
You know, we can't even compare to how he writes. If you just like let go and let him write, oh my goodness, what he comes up with is truly amazing. I mean, us sitting right here, this is a story. This is, you know, like everything that we've been through to get us to this point. Like, we've all had trauma and things that have happened to us in our life that we had to fight through to be able to sit in this room together.
Amen.
You know, things we had to overcome. And what I see and what I feel is just a bunch of strong minds, a bunch of strong spirits. And, you know, I'm very connected to the people that I've met through poetry, you know, and mainly from that coffee shop. You know, and I think that shop has a lot of favor because Arlene Brooks has followed what God told her to do. And now there's a bunch of beautiful things coming, a bunch of beautiful stories coming from that shop. You know, this is one of them. that we're sitting down and we're creating things together. So the things that we spoke about, like doing lunch, like I wanted to do lunch to create something with you, but we're doing it. We're doing it right now.
Yes,
we're creating something, we're creating an episode. But what I was touching on about the support from the family is we need that. Like our family doesn't realize that we need support, and like we could do so many like great things, and our family sometimes they can be plugged into the wrong things, and it's like, when somebody's trying to do something, like why don't you go support them, go love them. But a lot of times, even if they don't come through for us, God will put the right spirits in our life, and one of the spirits that have come into Stephanie's life is Dennis Amadeus.
Oh my God!
You met Dennis Amadeus, Chris.
I did. Same night I met Stephanie.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, true. Yep. At Crowbar.
That's right.
When we went to go see Brianna Tam play the cello.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and, she's amazing.
And she was she actually played with K3, right? Is that how you say his name?
K3, I believe
K3.
so.
Yeah. He's a local hip hop artist, which I would love to link up with him, and we talked about him a little bit.
Yeah, he has such a sweet spirit. He just seems like so quiet. I don't think I've heard him cuss in any of his songs.
No.
But he has
incredible flow.
Nice stage presence, nice flow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's fire.
Yes, sir. And the funny thing as far as with family, I had to understand that maybe poetry is just not their thing.
Yeah.
And that's not the voice. That's not what speaks to their heart.
Yeah.
And I had to just connect with the people that I did speak with. So I remember when I was training in Kung Fu, I would train like 6 times a week, twice on Saturday. So my mother and my aunt would be like, why are you always there? I said, because I'm growing personally. Like, I love doing it. I was doing that and poetry and salsa like a crazy person.
Ooh, salsa, yeah.
That's up your alley over there.
I love it, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a little rusty, so you're going to have to help me out. It's been like 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like my aunt's like, you're going to get hurt. If you keep on doing, you're going to get hurt. And then to some of my family, the whole poetry thing was kind of like almost like a waste of time. Like, why are you going around all these people? Because they recognize my spirit and I recognize theirs. Mm-hmm. Like they understand me. For once, I'm encountering poets that are not dead poets. Like they're alive and well. Poetry is alive and well. I thought that it was just written down in books and that was it. Like all of them had died except for Maya at the time. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that this is just going to be a dream and my little secret I can write and that's it. The world will never see it.
Wow. But to me it sounds like you're the black sheep in your family. I'm the weird one in my family. I'm the one who is I call it emotional. I'm the one who's the hugger. I'm the picture taker. I'm the diplomat. I'm that person in the family. I'm like find the good parts in people and giving people grace and all that other stuff. I actually went to my pastor one time and told him, Pastor Kyle, I'm tired of being good.
I think the scripture that says don't get tired of doing good.
It does, but sometimes it's funny because I've always been a goody two-shoes all my life, and every now and then I'll be like, I want to do something bad.
It's not that I wanted to do something bad. I was just tired of being the bigger person. I was tired of being. It's not that doing
always
good.
Taking the higher road.
Right.
Yes, I was tired of not. I wasn't tired of doing good. I was tired of being good. And he prayed right away.
He's like, let's get that out of you.
He first he's like, what do you mean? And then he said, we need to pray. Remember, the Bible said, don't be weary. He's from Tennessee. Don't be weary of well doing. I'm like, I know, Pastor Kyle, but I'm just tired of being the one to take the high road. Tired of being the one to apologize first and forgive and all those things. I was just tired of being. And then I'm like, okay, if I don't do that, then what am I going to do? Because that's who I am. Like it's ingrained in me. I cannot do anything differently.
Wow. Wow. So in Galatians 6:9, it says, so let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up.
I'm waiting.
Right.
I'm not going to stop because it's like breathing to me because but I'm waiting.
But it also sounds to me like maybe, because I know you're like, I'm being good, I am good, but it might be that you are tired of pouring into other people and that you need someone to pour into you to be refilled, maybe? Because you get depleted.
Correct. So what I did in less than 6 months, and at one point I was reading 8 books 5 books, and then I added 3 to it. Ooh. So I was doing audiobooks. One of them was Boundaries by John Cloud, Henry Cloud and John Townsend, I believe. But the book Boundaries, and then T.D. Jakes' Woman Thou Art Loose, The 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. Everything about how to understand the way you love and why you do the things you do. Self-directed behavior, because I was going to school for counseling at the time. The textbook on self-directed behavior, oh my gosh. I called it the self-deconstruction, self-reconstruction book. Because you find out that you have a fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of loneliness, fear. And fear is what governed everything. The fear of losing someone's love. You cannot lose someone's love if they really love you. And that was everything with friends, with family, especially with family. You're afraid of losing love because then their demeanor, their language changes with you. And they kind of make it evident that you've disappointed them or they didn't get their way. And then I would feed into that. And then once I stopped feeding into that, it got easier to be good and to do good because then I opened it up to everyone.
So you came out of like performance mode.
It wasn't even performance. I came out of, this is the selected people that I'm going to do it for because this is my family. It's like, no, kindness is for everyone. It's not just for this one person. It makes it easier to forgive as well, because if I can be kind to a stranger, I should be able to be kind to people who have done me wrong. So I just treat them like a stranger, because you don't know what they've done to other people. So treat them like a stranger and give them the same kindness you would have given someone who has not done you any wrong.
Wow.
That's not easy.
I know it's not easy. Jesus tells us to forgive 70 times 7 a day, which is a lot. That's like 490 times a day that someone could piss you off and do you wrong, and you have to just keep on forgiving them. But you're like, okay, Jesus, by your grace, you know.
Yes. He teaches us forgiveness. It doesn't do us any good, right? To hold on to it.
No, it doesn't. And the thing is that if it came naturally, it would not be a command. If it came naturally to say, you stepped on my foot on purpose, you looked into my eyes while you did it, and you twisted your foot when you did it, I know that you meant it.
Right.
So how do I forgive that?
Wow. If it came naturally, it would not be a command.
That's good.
Like that. That's
Stephanie.
Good.
That's good.
All this wisdom, I love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
But how do you forgive that when someone intentionally hurts you?
And over and over and over again. And it does wear on you, does wear you down. Because sometimes it doesn't wear you down to hatred or resentment. The worst thing it wears you down to is apathy.
Like indifference, right?
I remember when I told someone, because they would use their words to hurt. So I could be the best person in the world, and then when they were angry, I was nothing. I finally told them, I'm like, it doesn't matter if you tell me that I'm good or I'm bad. I said, I don't believe you. I choose not to believe either one, because you cannot be both the poison and the elixir.
Ooh. That's like the word says that dirty water and clean water can't come out of the same spring.
That's a real.
We're gonna make a short out of that one.
Yeah.
Sure. Got the wisdom, huh? I like it.
I'm thankful that whatever was poured into me, I did not forget and I did not let fall out. Because it's easy to allow yourself to be filled with other things, and everything that is supposed to feed you and feed others, you let it fall out. So you don't have it for yourself, but you don't have it for anybody else either.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's what happens a lot of times with us who give a lot. We got to get, we pour out a lot. We need to get poured back into. That's important. But another thing that you had said when we spoke earlier today, you were saying that they did not care about the condition of your soul. That was like a strong statement.
So we're talking about relationships because this person approached me and they led with the physical. Now, I already sat, anybody on Instagram and Facebook knows I'm abstinent.
Yes.
Somebody told me not to say that. I'm like, why not?
Yeah,
Be proud.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm like, I am. So that way someone approaches me, I'm very transparent. This is where I am. That way you know how to approach me. I'm going to show you how to approach me. That way I don't get insulted and you don't eventually get your feelings hurt after I stop being extra kind. But David had mentioned about like some of his experience. Like they didn't care about him. They only cared about what he looked like or what he could do for them.
Right.
And what I mentioned was that they didn't care about the condition of your heart. They didn't care about the condition of your soul. It's like, as long as you look good or you have, that's all that matters to some people, because the guy kept on saying, like, don't you think we would make a good couple, like look good together? I said, that's besides the point. When I get old and I am older and the parts wear out, the only thing that matters is what's on the inside.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
So like the way I look and the way that you look, it means nothing to me. Like, did God put attraction there so that we can find each other? And attraction is deeper than what we look like. And people don't realize it because they're animals that are attracted to each other. And based on the feathers for different birds, they will look at one bird and say, okay, you don't look right. And they'll go to another one to mate with. That instinct that we had before, we've lost it. Because we look at clothing, we look at status, we look at money, we look at bravado, and we miss out completely on our instincts. Completely. So I go back to the basic instinct. I need to see your character. I need to see what your soul looks like. Because if you're going to be with me, we're going to join together. And I don't want to sleep with your demons if I'm kicking mine out.
That's right. Yes, that's right. You don't need any demons.
Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. You can catch all of our episodes on YouTube and Spotify at Better Gents Podcast, and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Better Gents Pod. Thank you and take care.